Just right.
Sir.
I didn't know once to retire.
David is the person to ask. Yeah, he's over there in the back. Yeah, here he comes. He's coming in now.
Stacy. She was just worried. We can't hold it. She was.
What is that?
They were saying one of the vendors that was like a trying thing. They're trying to. So now we have. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get ready to start the meeting. I'd like to start on time. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to everybody here. Thank you for coming. Again, I'll call the meeting to order. First thing we'll do is we'll take roll call.
Good afternoon, commissioners. As we take roll call, Representative John Bartlett, Senator Stacy Donato, Commissioner Ellen Dunnigan, Commissioner Dr. Rebecca Huerta, Commissioner Christine Jeffers,
Here.
Commissioner Elizabeth Kiefner Crawford, Representative Joanna King,
Here.
Commissioner Rebecca Kubaki,
Here.
Commissioner Ramo Mezetta, Deputy Commissioner Keisha Rich,
Present.
Commissioner Greg Taylor, Commissioner Francis Vega Steele,
Here.
Chairman Gregory Wilson.
Here.
We do not have a quorum, Chairman.
Thank you. Yeah. Order. Oh, here it is. Well, we won't be able to vote right now, and I know Commissioner Holloway will be here at some point. So with that, again, I just want to welcome everybody to the commission meeting, and we'll make it quick and painless. I was going to say painful, painless. So I misspoke on that. Again, I just want to thank the supply diversity team and under leadership of Keisha Rich for all the great work that you've done, and all the universities that are here supporting us. I know it's a partnership, and all the commissioners who have made it today. I know some are busy, but we appreciate you're sacrificing, because I know that you could be doing something else. So with that, I'll turn it over to Keisha.
Thank you, Chairman. So Graham, we will start with the vendor presentations. If you want to introduce the first vendor, please.
First vendor is Jeff Nesbitt with the Marshall Security LLC.
While they're coming up, can you make sure you silence your phones, please? Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeff Nesbitt. I'm with Marshall Security LLC. We're based out of Bloomington, Indiana. We are a obviously security provider, veteran-owned, minority-owned security provider. We do some work with IDOA as a subcontractor through, I believe it's Securitas. We provide security services in Bloomington and the Canby location. We have been in business since 2015. I spent most of a large portion of my life in the military, United States Coast Guard. Started out in search and rescue, and then went into law enforcement operations after 9/11. Where I provided port security for different locations across North Carolina. Left military in 2006, was accepted into Colorado State Police Academy, I graduated in 2008 as a post-certified law enforcement police officer. Moved to Indiana in 2009, where I worked out at Crane in the small arms division. And then worked part-time as a bailiff for the court system in Monroe County. Was going to school full-time, working for the court system, and so was working security for the court system at night. And then broke off in 2015 and started my own agency where we started working with Indiana University, providing security for their after hours events for like fraternity parties and that kind of stuff. We are focused more in moving into government operations, and that was our main reason for being here, is trying to figure out how to traverse that and how do we bid on contracts and opportunities that would come our way in our specific I guess departments and type of work that we do. And that's, I think, the biggest problem that we've had is trying to figure that out. So that's why we're here, but I appreciate you having me. We do have some flyers and stuff that we can hand out that, you know, gives us our capability statements. We are certified with the federal government to provide services with them and in the state of Indiana. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Well, first, just thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And then the one thing I want to mention to everybody, but especially with security, I know right now I'm on one of the committees for the NBA All-Star Game, and they're definitely looking for people with security. And if you just go to sports, Pacer Sports Entertainment website, you'll see the NBA All-Star link there, and you can go on and register your business. So that's one thing. And I will say that a lot of those businesses who are presented to the committee have had some success with opportunities. So I think it's a benefit. Any questions, Commissioners?
Not a question, but comment. Reach out to your fellow veterans to apply for jobs, because you know, we want to do all that we can to help, and you know, word of mouth by someone they relate to and understand, that would be great.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
No.
You work with Andy on Android at all?
We do.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. Andy has been phenomenal with helping us get through the
Your certification and.
yeah, with the federal government. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, he's been phenomenal. We're all set up. It's just get that step for like when like this building has security and those doing.
Sure.
How do we bid for that kind of
Yeah.
thing? So that's I guess our biggest step in trying to figure that out.
And I will say, keep working with Keisha and her team too, because they know a lot about the opportunities that exist.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Next, we have Rick Phillip with R&D Phillip.
First of all, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the invitation to introduce myself and my company today. For the next 4 minutes, I'm here to tell you a story on how we became what we do and how we can make it on the street. So they would actually visit you, consult with you. What are your needs? How can we help you with your challenges? Then execute that plan. Summary: we want to create a lasting footprint of sustainable products and services within our communities. And how can we be of service to you?
Thank you. Thank you again. Thank you for your service. As I said before, we definitely appreciate that.
That was a lot
Commissioner,
of information.
that's okay. You get time for the elevator speech and you did it. So any commissioners have any questions? Thank you. Again, hopefully you'll do the same. I'm sorry, Commissioner Ramo. Go ahead, please.
And I don't know if there's more presentations, but can we get copies of the presenters in an email? As soon as possible for some opportunity?
Yes, we can send that to you. It will probably be tomorrow if that's okay. We'll send it to you tomorrow morning if that's okay.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, sir. Okay.
All right, so now thank you to the vendors, and now we'll move on to the state educational institution reports. And today we have up first, it's Indiana State University, Kara Sterling. Will you be presenting? Sorry, really quickly, Kara. As a reminder, we are streaming this live. It will also, once the meeting ends, it will be on our YouTube page. We will provide the link to that information on our website. All past commission meetings are also streamed, and that information can be found on our website as well.
We thought this would be very helpful for people who are not able to make it to be able to stream in. So, and hopefully to reach more of our Hoosiers around the state. So thank you, Felicia.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kara Sterling, and I am currently the co-interim procurement director along with my colleague, Mike Bennett. In comparison with last quarter, we saw some improvements in a few categories. And I'm going to bring our view of our upcoming opportunities.
Can you maybe get closer to the mic when you talk so that they can hear you?
Say up on the screen, we've got a few of our upcoming opportunities. If you want to discuss the construction.
Yeah, okay. So for our construction coming up, our biggest project by far is the Center for Technology, Engineering and Design. This project is now been awarded to Ratio Architects. The project is actually still going through state approvals at this time. The project will be bidding on a construction manager as constructor basis. The project is approximately $66 million total cost, with $52 to $54 million in dollar construction. The project should be bidding out to the general contractor by the end of the year. For these projects, we'll advertise it in the Ontario Indianapolis newspapers. Plus, because the project is so big, we'll also advertise it in several other regional newspapers, Chicago, Louisville, places like that. Other things that we're doing on the project to try to ensure we get some XBE participation. All our projects do run through our electronic planning room. And so when we put these projects out, we have literally a few hundred firms that we send to through that. We also advertise the project through the IDOA through Jada Franklin. In addition, we also send the projects out through the Indiana Department of Transportation. And then also we advertise the projects through the Mid-States Minority Development Council as well. The last thing I guess we do is we also put these projects out to 6 or 7 plan rooms. And of course, a lot of the construction companies have subscriptions to those. And so we try to cast a very wide net to make sure as many people knows about the project as possible. And so that's definitely our biggest project for the year. We also do have a few other projects coming up. And so projects we're bidding out between now and the end of the year would include 2 roofing projects, one for Fairbanks Hall, one for the Chestnut Street building. We're also going to be doing some more major pool repairs to our student recreation center pool. Common Morris Student Union, we're redoing the north entry. And then the last bigger project we have for this current year is the medium voltage cable replacement. Projects for next year would include the exterior lighting.
We also have a few professional services coming up, which they're in the next 3 to 6 months. So we're kind of just in the information gathering stage at this point, finding vendors that are available, figuring out what an RFP should look like.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions? Senator Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On your presentation, you have professional service opportunities, uniforms. It seems like those are more supplies to me, but do you categorize those as professional services?
I think in the fact that we're renting the uniforms that we're providing, or they're providing laundry services for the uniforms that we are renting.
Oh, I see what you're
So-
saying. So the billing and then the IT consulting, I understand that. But you have ongoing, for example, risk management, right? You have a risk management team. Am I correct on that?
Yes,
How about legal services? You guys have continued, or maybe you have a general counsel. I don't know if you do or not.
we do, yes.
Do they hire outside legal?
They do employ some folks.
Inside Indiana State? I'm just trying to, there's ongoing professional services. I'm trying to figure out why these are the only opportunities that are there. And I don't know if you categorize professional services different. I think every university does for some reason, but those are some other things I think you should look into. I'm happy to see the IT consulting and staffing as part of it too. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Representative Farley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Also, under professional services, you have architecture, you have financing, bonding. Do you look at those areas?
I don't know about the bonding, quite honestly. The bigger project that we have for this year is being funded by the state, and so there's no real bonding involved in that bigger project. In regards to the architects, we do have several architects that we sent the projects to. We have a large list of architects. And so when we put out, especially the bigger project here, we did put it out to numerous architects, and several of those were XPEs.
We do have a few, I believe, financial services that are kind of on call with our Small Business Development Center that's housed at ISU. They have a few consultants on staff for some of the local small businesses that may need help. Consulting work, so they're kind of as needed.
Any other commissioners? Thank you.
Yeah, Commissioner.
Yes, Commissioner Mazzetta.
I didn't quite hear, but I think the technology engineer design the center, is that being designed now? And it seems like there's going to be a construction, a CFC go out, an RFP, is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
And what was the volume of that?
The hard dollar construction is $52 to $54 million.
And when will the CMC RFP go out?
Oh, as far as once we've hired the construction manager? Well, I do know that the construction manager should be hired by, or at least that should be bid out by the end of the year. And so I'm not sure the exact time frame of how this is all going to come together.
Let's just say the end of the year, right?
Well, yeah, end of the year or the beginning of next.
Okay, with that RFP that goes out, I know you, the owner, can write out all the requirements you want. And are you going to put a large SBE requirement? So people responding, the CSP, can give you a good SBE participation, knowing that it's a value to them to get the job.
And I don't believe I can answer that question. I know there's intent to have goals, but I don't know about.
What way to get goals met? My recommendation is whoever is putting out that RFP, my point of this is, and I don't want to be a preaching to the choir. But if you, the owner, put the requirement, SBE, and sometimes, and I recommend more than sometimes, you put higher standards. Then they responded, understand how serious you are about an SBE participation program, because we do want to save the public dollars, but we also want participation. So my recommendation to whoever is staff is writing an RFP, put that in there. That's how you start getting more participation, is mainly saying it's mandatory that you give a good participation level. So, preaching again, but that, you don't know. I'd like to find out, and if you need any help, let me know.
Okay.
Let us know.
Okay, yeah, like I said,
That's all
well,
I have to.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to take a small break to do another roll call. Graham, please.
Representative John Bartlett,
Present.
Senator Stacy Donato, Commissioner Ellen Dunnigan,
Present.
Commissioner Dr. Rebecca Huerta,
Present.
Commissioner Christine Jeffers,
Present.
Commissioner Elizabeth Kiefner Crawford, Representative Joanna King,
Here.
Commissioner Rebecca Kubaki,
Here.
Commissioner Ramo Mizetta,
Present.
Deputy Commissioner Keisha Rich,
Present.
Senator Greg Taylor,
Present.
Commissioner Francis Vega Steele,
Present.
Chairman Gregory Wilson.
Here.
We do have quorum now.
We have a quorum to.
Thank you.
adopt.
All right. We'll go ahead to the universities, then we'll
Okay.
come back to the, so let's finish university.
Next up, Jessica with Purdue University.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Commission. Good afternoon. I'm Jessica Robertson with Purdue University.
Good afternoon.
Hi. Have a number of updates for you. We've been busy and we've been also incubating, for lack of a better term, kind of how we want to move forward with our program. First and foremost, I'm still interviewing for supplier diversity manager. So if you know anyone that's a good candidate, I'd love to speak with them. I have some good folks that I'm talking with too, but always, welcome some faces there. I wanted to highlight the slide that I have up there. It's very busy. I'm sorry that it's so far away. Really wanted to highlight, though, the number of capital projects that are happening on our campus, all in various phases of funding. Some of these still need to be finalized with the state budget committee. Some of the items on that map represent work that's wrapping up. But there's a number of large programs or projects that we're planning to move forward with over the next few months, all in various stages of architecture, engineering, design, and bids. Most of these big ones will be CMC. So future, kind of early winter timelines for those CMC packages to be released. But between a new residence hall, a new terminal that we're planning for our airport, a nursing and pharmacy building, and then a building for our ag department, there's a lot of construction activity happening on campus. We also have a number of R&R projects that are out there. So if anyone's interested, the capital projects and then the professional service and supply categories that I'll reference in a bit, all are advertised on our website and are all information's publicly available. I will say we have a number of large IT purchases. So there are some components to those IT purchases, but then there's also the services to do the implementation of some systems, some large computer clusters. We buy supercomputers frequently at Purdue. Those are all active bids that are out on the street. We're also preparing for some negotiations for our MRO suppliers, our furniture suppliers, and temp staffing. So we're in the data collection and strategization of how we want to go to market for those categories. We do, as I said earlier, we're planning for the next generation we always have historically produced an annual event. in November. I'm not sure what that'll look like this year just yet. We're planning that out. Might be January, might be February. We're looking to extend the West Lafayette reach to make sure that our regional campuses are included as well. And then we're also working with our Purdue Indianapolis team to help stand up our new campus and making sure supplier diversity is in those conversations and represented in the work that is going to take place on that campus. That's all I have. Oh, yeah. So sorry. Just another, I just threw those up there just in case anyone needed it for references of where to find the information and the opportunities that I referenced.
It's a lot going on at Purdue.
There is. It's
A lot
exciting.
going on.
Yeah.
Hopefully those who are watching us live would see all these opportunities. And if you're looking for that job opportunity, call Purdue.
That's right. Robertson@purdue.edu.
Thank you so much, commissioners. Representative Taylor. Senator Taylor, sorry, sir.
Thank you. No problem, Mr. Chairman. In your notes, it says that Purdue had 8% of its tier 1 majority spend to either diverse supplier certified through another agent or was a small business. So you're saying they're certified with other agencies?
That's right.
So are you having difficulty with these companies becoming certified with the state?
So we did have a number of our large contractors lose their certification over the last quarter to 6 months. We're working with them and Keisha's team. We have a clinic, I think at like November timeframe for our region to target those vendors. But we track certifications beyond the state as well for our own, the impact, I should say, of the university.
Okay. And then I don't understand the tier 1 smaller diverse spend, including a majority spend. What does that mean? Like so are you saying that the tier 1 vendor was certified, but because they were the tier 1, you could only count the tier 2 spend?
I believe our comment for that is that they're captured. Yep. They're captured as tier 1, which they should be captured in this document.
Okay.
But perhaps they weren't. So I apologize for that confusion and my inability to answer your question clearly.
Yeah, I'm still a little confused.
Yep.
But it does serve as a note that some of the companies are not getting certified. I think the certification process has become easy to do. It's all done online. It's actually pretty daggone quick. So I don't know why the companies don't enforce it. And then it looks like you spent almost $18 million in professional services. I keep harping on this, but are you involved? Are your professional service procurement? Do you have a different division for professional services than you do for your procurement? So where's the separation at? What I'm saying is, it seems like to me you've focused quite a bit in your presentation on upcoming projects, which means to me brick and mortar. But I don't see anything. I don't see anything on here about, I don't know, your again, risk management, legal,
Architect.
accounting, architect. Is the separation because it's not emphasized, or is it? It just seems like you're doing well in some areas, and this one is just.
Yeah, we've got work to do for sure.
Okay.
I will say that the capital projects, to me, why they're meaningful is we obviously have the construction work, but there's professional services baked in those as well.
Right. But
it
you're
is
still at 0.82.
right.
So.
Yeah. So, and then we work closely with our risk management group when they have renegotiation. We work closely with our treasurer's office when they do bond releases to make sure that diverse suppliers are in those conversations as well. I don't know if that answers your question.
I know you do, but it seems to me that every university has certain ongoing professional services that use on a daily basis. And I haven't gone through everybody's, but I see nothing for upcoming opportunities in those areas. So maybe it's a lack of, we don't know it exists, or maybe it's a lack of, hey, our general counsel is all about this, and we can't get them here on this, for example, or our risk services manager is worried about liabilities on campus and we can't get them to focus on. I just don't know why construction has become so good. You guys are doing such a great job, yet the professional service seems to be always dismal for every university. I'm just trying to figure out what the difference is, so.
I think candidly, one of my challenges is those are really long-term agreements. So if we strike agreements with a firm that's not a diverse firm, that contract generally is for 2 to 4 years, right?
Right.
Like when we were at the state, it's hard. You only have like a window to get the right contracting
Okay.
plan and the right partners there.
Okay,
So, kind of incubating those firms so that their capabilities are known, diverse firms, their capabilities are known to
Right.
our stakeholders. And they're building that relationship
okay.
for that contract.
That's
expires.
a legitimate reason.
It
but
takes
there's-
time.
Well, it's been, I mean, these numbers have been like this for like 2 or 3 years. I just, yeah, we got to get creative. Okay, thanks, though.
Any other commissioners? Thank you so much. Yes, okay.
Commissioners, this is
Oh.
commissioners that, I agree with, I believe Senator Taylor's comment back on the, diverse certified by others. I see about 2 million. Did you count that in this report?
Was your question if we included the 2 million diverse suppliers certified by other agents, if we included that in this report? We didn't, we did not.
I can't quite hear.
She said, no, she said, no, they didn't.
A general comment then on this report that you gave, back to Senator Taylor. Would it be difficult for all of the FEI to put when you have projects, if they're coming out as professional service, CMC, general contract, or professional goods? Can you put that with each project and also the volume, dollar volume? So we could use this for other, for the XPEs in the state. The general question for everybody in the room.
Thank you.
One more item, can the FBI put their name to this report? Whoever authored it,
Thank you.
is that available?
I
What?
think each university sends in the report. It's a joint project with everyone on the teams. There's not just one sole author. It's from the university. So we'll talk about some of these things that you mentioned and see how we can incorporate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. So one thing I do want to comment on, I know I get tired too sometimes, Senator Taylor, because I usually say it every meeting, is that it is important that the universities look at the professional service side. That's a challenge that, as Senator Sella said, it's been years and years that we've had this discussion. What I like to do, he should, for maybe our next meeting, put together some examples of what those professional service type industries look like, so we can bring it back and you can have more discussion. And I will just say that, it's one thing when you say that, we're looking to find ways, but by now you should be able to put together a list of those different businesses that exist in that professional service arena that you're looking for by now. I think that's not hard to do. Been around the country and I've seen this done where you have your list of, here are all the professional service in my architects, my finance, all these different industries, and it should be able to do that. So when you're looking at this project, you have leverage because you're the university, it's your project to work with your business partners to look at some of these opportunities. So. thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I think that would be a good task because what I've heard being on this commission is that different universities consider different things professional services. So it would be beneficial, and I don't think we could do anything like change the law to say this is professional service. I think the universities should be able to determine that, but we need to know which services, or for example, I didn't even think about cleaning uniforms and, like band uniforms or the football team's uniform. I didn't even think of that as professional services. But one of the universities does. So just having that list would be a benefit.
Yeah.
So I think we should get that by next quarter.
Yeah, and then also it'll be helpful for those who are seeking to do business to understand what that means for that university professional services.
Gotcha.
All right, thank you, Keisha. No, we're gonna move on. Oh, no, Commissioner Mazzetta, we're gonna move on, please.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Go
right.
ahead,
Next up, we have Marcus with Ivy Tech.
Good afternoon, everyone. I may have to apologize a little bit. I think I prepped a little differently. So yeah, I mainly looked at some of the outreach efforts that we had for the last quarter, but it may work into a little bit with this slide because I really want to focus a lot on our Indianapolis campus. As you guys have all heard me many times, we have 19 campuses. They all operate, we are one college, but they operate somewhat separately. So our Indianapolis campus is our largest and has the most opportunity typically. We also have a large capital project that is, I believe, in the final stages of review for selection of CMC and architecture. But in addition to those, there will be some kind of ancillary projects coming up around the campus that are both related to that, but also just in addition to that. So that's what we've kind of provided up here. So in an effort to kind of jumpstart this, our Indianapolis campus conducted a supplier diversity event back in June on weirdly a Friday afternoon in the summer, but it was really well attended. Keisha and her team were there. So you were probably a little surprised how many people were there on a Friday afternoon. But and as part of that, our head of procurement for the Indianapolis campus presented on specific projects. But then as you'll see on the column on the right there, he provided, these are ongoing service needs. So I would, ask if anybody is in this world and wants to connect with our Indianapolis campus to please let me know, and I will connect them with Alex. And just talking to him earlier this afternoon, and we're getting ready to do a repave of some of the parking lots. And he was talking, he's like, really love to find, he has a goal for all these projects at 40% XBE spend. Ambitious goal. We'll hopefully he's able to, and I think. Alex said if he's not, it's going to be for struggle to find bidders. I'm definitely inviting anybody to connect with me on that one. Otherwise, from a kind of outreach or program development, again, you guys have heard me talk about how some of the communication amongst the campuses can be a struggle for me because I'm personally not. We don't have centralized procurement, so I'm not personally purchasing things. I'm having to kind of connect with the campuses and find out what's going on. So one of the things that we are rolling out little by little is we are adding this to our diversity, equity, and belonging leads at each of the campuses to work and have regular meetings with our executive directors of finance, which is essentially like the mini CFO for that campus, to both work on finding out what opportunities are out there, to work on better outreach efforts. So and then reporting back to me, which is what hopefully these meetings will become a little easier for me to prep. But that's the goal. We're moving slowly but surely, but we're getting there. So I think that's really all I have, unless I start wanting to throw some laundry list stuff out there. So if there's
Well,
questions.
One of the things I'll say is, see, Commissioner Mazzetta, he actually did what you said. He exceeded the goals to 40%. So
Well,
definitely.
That's the goal.
I said,
We haven't exceeded
I
it
said,
yet.
what I mean is you went higher than what the necessary goal was. And so that's a good thing. Commissioners?
I just have one comment. Under culinary and conference centers, you have a penthouse.
So-
You might want to change that word, and that, I just think that sort of implies that, I don't know, just the optics.
Okay,
Penthouse is not a good word.
okay. Interesting, okay.
A lot of state money and that sort of thing. You may want to think about what you use for.
Is that on the slide? Oh, there it is. Okay,
That's just.
all right. I'm sure that was given to me, but I'm sure it's not on anything official yet. But that was just for your reference. Are you familiar with it?
With the, yeah.
With the culinary center in the top level?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's where we actually had the networking
Right.
for
I'm sure that what you could use other than.
okay, fair enough. I have no problem with that.
Ms. Steele?
The bonfire hub that you have for registration, if a person can't register on that, is there a place that they can review the RFPs?
Well, a couple of things. One, they should be able to register. It's a free registration. I'm not sure why they wouldn't be able to register, but in all honesty, we are switching to a new system, so bonfire is going away here shortly. But if somebody's having trouble, they can always email me and I can try to get them the information they need. So.
Any other commission?
Chairman, I have a question.
Commissioner Mazzetta?
It's hard to hear a little bit, so bear with me. I got a question. The North Meridian Center, was that already let out to a CMC?
Well, these are all individual projects. Are you referring to the large capital project that was out a few months, like a month or so ago, Commissioner?
I think I got that was this on your sheet, anticipation project. Is that not let yet?
If they're on the sheet, the way that I understand is these have not been out yet. And I, got an update on this a couple of weeks ago. So we do have a large capital project for our Indianapolis campus. So if that is out for CMC and engineering or architecture and engineering, but these are kind of smaller, either ancillary projects or side projects that are not affiliated with that large capital project. So
the one that is not on.
correct,
CMC.
correct.
Okay, why not? I mean, isn't it a large expenditure? Isn't it like? 6
That-
million?
If you're talking about the capital project, that RFP has already been out and it's in evaluation right now. They are, proposals have closed on that one.
Okay, well, okay, so again, I asked in the other question, did you put any goals on it with the CNC greater than your present goals?
I believe,
With a value to exceed goals, right?
yes,
If a CNC is also, you can put in your RFP what you expect for qualifying construction management teams to be awarded the job. It's not just dollars and cents. Do you know what you did? or
Yes.
do you not know?
yeah, the way that I understand it, we did. I never got a final answer. They were bumping between, I believe, either 22% or 25%, but I don't have an exact on what they set as the final goal.
Okay.
But those were
So
the,
we need to find out.
Yep.
This is again, to chairman and the rest of the commissioners, I don't know how to propose that all these presentations have a timing, a dollar value, and what type of delivery. That means either professional services CMC, general contractor, be put in each of the presenter package going forward.
Thank you, Commissioner Mazzetta. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Julie. She is standing in for Jeff today from University of Southern Indiana.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Julie Weinzapfel and with USI down in Evansville. And as you said, I'm pitch hitting for Jeff today. He's taken on risk management for the university. So he's attending a conference in Maryland this week. So I'll start with our quarter three. That's been our best quarter so far. We've exceeded both of our MBE and WBE goals. And we will continue to improve on our veteran spend. We continue to utilize the IDOA database to identify certified vendors at every opportunity. And we post all of our bids on our website and we send that bid information to the IDOA to post as well. For our upcoming projects, we like to say that we operate like a small city. I'm sure Jeff said that before. So at any given time, we're reaching out for quotes for anything from light bulbs to roofing, mowing, you name it. But given that, we do have some upcoming projects that are a little bit larger. So we have the furniture for the Health and Wellness Center. It's estimated at $900,000 and it's due in a couple of weeks, 9/28. So there's still time for bidders to look up that package and request a bid package. We have the Health Profession Center renovations, phases 3 and 4, estimated at $50 million. And that's going to be sent out either late this calendar year or early 2024. And then we have the ongoing energy upgrades. We have the athletics fields and facilities upgrade, which is to be determined. It's on this, it's being developed right now, but for that in the coming year. And then we have the cooling tower number 3, estimated at $500,000. The Anthonyum Air HVAC, which is in the historic New Harmony. And then the historic New Harmony Beal House renovation estimated at $500,000. And again, this list is not exhaustive as we have things come through daily. And then I also just wanted to quickly highlight a collaboration with the university. So the Jeff has committed to working with the Evansville Regional Economic Partnership to develop a supplier diversity program for the Evansville region. So the university is going to be in partnership with that area, developing our program. And he was actually a panelist on a recent endeavor that they had, sharing our processes, our strategies, and we will be helping them with theirs. And we actually have a kickoff for that this week, which I will be in attendance Wednesday. So we're busy. We're excited to support our program and we're excited to support the region. That's my report.
Questions from the commissioners?
I have a question. This is Commissioner Mazzetta. You can shut me off whenever you want, but great job, by the way, on your percentages. Looks great.
Thank you.
On your sheet of your projected RFPs,
Yes.
and here you put the volume in the job. What is the Health Profession Center renovation phase 3 and 4? Is that a CMC or general contracting bid out?
That is going.
The delivery method.
I don't know 100%, but I do know it's going to be renovation. It's going to be flooring, wall covering, equipment, lab equipment, pretty much an all-encompassing RFP.
No, maybe I didn't hear you. The delivery means the way you're going to put out the RFP.
Oh, sure. That will be an RFP that will be advertised in our paper. It will also go on our plan room, our website, and the IDOA website.
No, I think you don't understand.
I guess not.
Maybe I'm not right. The delivery approach in construction world, there's just special services, a general contract, RFP, construction management at risk services, typical for this volume side. I don't know if you know what that is or not. It's pretty typical for something over 10 million to have a CFC, which for knowledge, again, is somewhat like a professional services contract, but at risk. Okay.
Okay.
So a PMC, if it goes out as a PMC contract, a lot of times what big contractors do is team up with XPEs as partners and approach it with a CMC approach. where the value of their XBE partners becomes a part of the value of also the subcontract base. So it's a pretty good way to get more XBE participation, especially from companies that not hit that stride of the body. So preaching to the choir again, but is it, you don't know the delivery or it hasn't been established?
I do not know that. However, I will go back to my office and get that answer and educate myself as well and let you know the answer.
Any other? Thank you. Any other commission? Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. We have Tony Hahn with Vincent.
Good afternoon. My name is Tony Hahn. I serve as the Vice President of Government and Legal Affairs for the university. Normally, Michael Morrison, our Risk Manager and Procurement Director, would be here. He had a pre-planned trip, and so since I'm local here, I said I'd happily stand in. You'll see from our report from this quarter, Michael has had some success, and he asked that I pass on a couple things. One is the success of the IDOA B2B events that he has attended. He was able to meet some new professional services at the last B2B event, and he plans to attend the next one on October 13th. As we often do, we're partnering with USI and those in the Southwest again to split a table at a regional upcoming regional event. And he wanted me to share, and I think this was in response to maybe Member Kubaki's comment from a meeting or two ago about increasing our veteran participation. We've had strong veteran numbers in the past few quarters. Michael has found, and it probably won't surprise you, that community seems to be pretty tight knit, and we find other vendors through current vendors. And Michael has encouraged several to receive certification. They were not certified, and he has encouraged them to. And he's happy to report that they've seen success and more business with that certification. So we continue to have strong veteran numbers, and he thinks it's a good referral system within its own community. You'll notice we have some future projects. This is the most construction that Vincennes University has done in quite some time. I'll preempt one question. We plan to deliver this in a design bid build delivery method. That's what our campus is most familiar with and most comfortable with, given our resources. And we have not bid any of these yet. As we just received state approval from the budget committee last month for the Center for Health Science, and we need to take the Red Skelton Museum edition yet to the state. So none have gone out to bid. We hope to do that in the fall. Because it's design bid build, each one of those, most of those, if we don't do in-house, will have some sort of professional service or design capacity contract to them. And so that's implied with those contracts is that there will be architect, A&E, and other design functions. Happy to answer any questions.
Representative Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's been my experience coming to these meetings, when you do design, bid, build, you kind of lock everybody else out. Because there's a group of folk that those folk are accustomed to working with, and you don't fill the net with the folk that you need to make these numbers match. And I'd like to hear your response to that.
Well, I'm not as close to the construction. And again, this is the biggest building we've ever built on the Vincennes campus. I'd be curious to think that through, that if you're looking for an architect or an engineering and design firm, especially in the location where we are, could we cast as broad a net than if we were looking for a CMC, somebody that could manage the entire project in our area? I'm not sure. I understand your point that when you get into one architect or a group that you're finding similar ones over and over, but I think there's an ability for Michael and our physical facilities to cast a pretty broad net all the way down to Evansville, up to Terre Haute. We obviously advertise on the IDOA site. But I would like to think that we could piece together even more by doing it that way. And honestly, we're not set up to do a CMC, but you'll see from our professional services and some other things, we're having some success. Michael's finding his stride for sure. So I appreciate your comment,
I think the
Representative.
point was, and it's well taken, in most design build, usually the teams come together already there. And even though that might be a desire, that typically is what happens with those design build projects. I think that was his just comment.
I see.
It's true. Okay, any other questions? Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Next up, we have Roger with Ball State University.
Good afternoon, everyone. And Roger Hasensaw, Ball State University, Director of Purchasing Services. As you can see, we do not have a lot of projects currently. They're all scheduled for 2024, and then we'll have a vast amount, which definitely will be sharing with everyone. And I'll be pressing behind the scenes as much as possible to get all the diversity participation as I possibly can. We did just now, Friday, put out a new project that we wasn't aware that was coming, and it's for new exterior campus signage. That'll be $125,000. So that will be going out here in the next week or so. So I'd recommend for everyone to look for that, please. As you can see, we still are strong in the area that my office has the most control over, which is the supplies and goods. We remain there in the minority at around 6 or 7%. When you hit the women-owned businesses, it's around 13%. But then you see, as everyone else, it plummets when it hits the professional and the public works and construction. We're working hard on that. I've got various initiatives in place trying to correct that every angle I can from my position and the decisions I can make and I'm involved in. Things we're doing currently, we're continuing the weekly diversity vendor chat. Even when that is not successful to pull on, which is our main objective, diversity partnerships with Ball State, it does open opportunities for other areas for diverse businesses. My entire team is devoted to that, and I can assure you that my entire team every day focuses, the purchasing procurement team focuses on diversity in some way, shape, or form, and communicate upward, downward, and sideways on ensuring everyone's aware of that and the importance of it to our university. I met just most recently with each dean from all 8 of the colleges at Ball State and got their commitments, trying to combine the side between business affairs and the academic side. And I did get their commitment for full cooperation, and they are working down through their ranks to ensure that the professors and others are looking at diverse suppliers when they're going out for various supplies. We've also, I'd mentioned we were setting up a new search engine. That search engine is in place where now our university campus community can just type in what they're looking for, and diverse suppliers will come up that can provide those services or those products. So we're very excited about that being put in place. When we ask about if we're not meeting our goals and we're not able to find initiatives that do meet the goals, what are we doing? Well, Ball State has most recently, we have started an RFP process for a procurement consulting team, and we're going to have them come in. And one of the objectives that I've been able to install in that is we are asking them to also look at our diversity initiatives and our program and see if there's ideas they can consult with us and help us find ways that apparently we're not to reach the goals in areas such as you're talking about, professional services and construction and other areas to help that move upward. So I also remain vigilant, open-minded as I look at other institutions and what programs they have in place, not just in Indiana, but across the country, and pick up everything I possibly can from them, as well as share implementations that we're doing in the hopes that we can help each other support diversity, which is the end all, whether it be just for Ball State or if it be all the way across the board.
Thank you. Thank you. And for time's sake, commissioners, we're going to have to kind of move it along just because of the time. Thank you, Roger. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
And then last but not least, Richard Wise, Indiana University. I'm sorry, the Indiana University.
Thank you. So the first thing I want to say for the record, Marcus has a pair of shoes on that look similar to some pair of shoes that I'm missing. So Marcus, I don't know if you those are nice shoes. They look like a pair that came up missing. And so I just want to make sure that they are not my shoes. Okay? Yes, yes, have security, hold him up front, please. Okay. Okay. So real quickly, I know we're short of time. I'm going to move fast. And if you have questions, I'll hang around. I'm just trying to help us move this right. So this first slide is my signature slide. It has links to business opportunities and other information for Spotlight on Supplier Diversity. That's our recorded interviews of diverse suppliers that we wanted to showcase to the university internally and to anyone externally. So when you get an email from me, that's an opportunity to look at that. We have a diverse supplier search tool that is linked to the state's certification list. We update that every other week. I know you update your list at the end of every business day. We don't have the capability of doing that. But the idea of that search tool is to enable those who are in purchasing or those outside of purchasing who have purchasing influence to search for diverse suppliers, particularly that are state certified, which will help us get our spend up more than where it is. Okay, so also for IU purchasing public bid postings, there's a link there. It goes right to any of the Office of Procurement Purchasing public bid posted RFPs and RFQs. Just be mindful of that. Capital plan and facilities, there is a link to public bids that are out, awarded, and you can search for those opportunities as well. And if you have any questions that are not listed there, there's a support form that you can fill out to ask questions internally. It will be routed within 48 hours to the right person who will respond to you. So that's my first slide. This slide is a slide that was posted at our last meeting in June in Columbus. There's not much change with it. So I will just kind of highlight just the updates. So these are forecasted opportunities for the next 12 months or so, year or so. And I listed all of the ones that are not highlighted in purple. So I went over most of them back in June. The ones that are highlighted in purple are the ones that are most recently landed here. There's a medium voltage circuit replacement equipment purchase. That's a RFP. It's on the public bid purchasing's public bid page. You can look at that. That's a large project. I think it was around $500,000 or so. There's an RFP for grant development consulting services that's coming out. There's a microscope RFP that's going to be coming out between September and December. All the other professional services listed, I covered those at our last meeting. On the right side of the page is all of our, there's a link to the public bid postings for all of capital planning and facilities. That spreadsheet there is about $42 million for this fiscal year, as well as last fiscal year, of rehab and repair and rehab projects that are going to be going on with 7 of the 9 university campuses. And I'll stop right there for the sake of time. Yeah. Any questions?
No, thank you, Richard, so much. We appreciate it. And as Richard said, listen, the universities, the representatives are in the back. When you're done at the end, catch up with them. Don't let them leave out the door. And
stop Marcus at the door, please.
I don't know if them are your shoes, Richard. But thank you so much for your presentation. Thank all those who have presented today. And so with that, I want to go ahead and get around. We have some votes to take, and I'll get those out of the way. The first is if I can get a motion for the adoption of the past minutes from June the 12th, 2023.
I so move.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And then I want to get another vote for the adoption of the report of the Governor's Commission from September 2023. I get a motion?
I so move.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. So we were just notified just a little bit ago that NDOT is not, the representative not present, and she did not send a representative, so we'll move on. if
That's
okay.
fine. No, that's fine.
Perfect. All right, so next,
Yes, I'm sorry. Senator.
Yes, thank you. Just for point of clarification, on this commission, do the legislators get to vote? No? Okay,
Not on this commission.
okay. We're gonna have to fix that somehow, because like I serve on several commissions and some of them we get to vote, some of them we don't. I couldn't remember. Okay, so I was quiet when you asked me. Aye, nay, so I just wanted to make sure. Thank you, Mr.
Thanks, Taylor. Thank you.
next slide, please. Thank you, Graham. So this is our work chart. As you can see, we are fully staffed minus one position. We're actively looking for a director of contract compliance. Next slide, please. These are the three main functions of the Division of Supplier Diversity. For those of you who are not familiar, we have our certification team, contract compliance, and business development and outreach. And for those in attendance, you've heard a lot of individuals mention goals. These are the goals for the state contracts. So it is the expectation that the goals are met or exceeded on all state contracts, and these are the ones that the state educational institutions mirror. So our certification updates, we have been doing extremely well. As it relates to certification, our average days to certify remain stably below the 90 days, the 90-day requirement. Compared to the time frame last year, our total number of applications received has increased. Last year, we had 407. This year, we have had to date 788. That's a 94% increase. So,
Congratulations.
thank you.
You needed those extra people, didn't you?
We did. Thank you all. And so also with that, we have seen an increase, about a 3% increase compared to last year. The total number of total certified vendors. So last year, at this time, we had 2,562. We're up to 2,634. And kudos to our certification team, because from January to August of this year, we have certified and recertified 622 vendor applications. So proud of the certification team.
Keisha, you got a question. What do you attribute the increase of new vendors being certified? Do you have a thought, whether it's your outreach or what do you think?
I think it is outreach, getting the word out more. We're doing a lot of different things as far as webinars, both in person and online, offering different information. I think that helps out too. So one of the things that we brought this year is a design and capability statement workshop. That's something that we didn't have in the past. I think that's helpful for business owners as we certify them and we tell them we're setting you up for success. We're doing just that by helping you create something that you currently don't have in your toolbox. So getting the outreach out and just giving them those tools for success.
And I think one thing too, I'm sure with the universities pushing people to get certified. So thank you too, because I know they've contributed that as well. So it's been a great team effort. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. And kudos to the university. They heard you all and they work very closely with us, each and every one of them, in reaching out to us and making sure that who they have and who they're utilizing is indeed certified. So thank you, everyone.
If you don't mind, I just want to address that a little bit. I had several businesses that had a really difficult time getting approved, and they've gone through that process now. And so kudos to your office, because it was difficult for them and they just weren't talking to the right people apparently. So it's important that, again, that messaging gets done and that you help. Sometimes we have to hold hands to get the job done. And those numbers are impressive. One of the things I'm wondering about, though, that's not really addressed up there is what happens to the people that were certified and don't go through that process again? for what reason do they drop off, fall off the map or whatever? Do you address that? Do we try to get them back on?
We do. So we now send out reminder notices. One of the things that I found though, to your point, is that a lot of businesses have gone out of business. I have received more phone calls than in the time that I've been with the Division of Supplier Diversity of Businesses, just saying we cannot, keep the doors open. And so it's not beneficial for us to go after recertification when we're not doing business. So that some of that is that, and then some vendors just get busy working. If they are single members, just one owner, they are pouring their time into their business. And so the good thing is if they're working with an SEI or if they're working with our office, we're calling them. Hey, we see that you're working with the state education institution that you want to keep, participating and counting towards their goals. You may want to, think about getting recertified at this time. And so that, we're trying. I would say everyone is trying the best that they can for those who still want to be certified to stay certified.
Well, thank you for that.
Yes, and I do want to note that the certification team to process 622, there are 3 of them. It's not like we have a team of 10. There are 3, the director, Peter Sovin, and then 2 certification specialists, John Marchand, who is there at the front, and then Rachel Stevens upstairs. So yeah, we're doing big things. We're small but mighty is what I like to say about our team. So the contract compliance updates, we continue to audit contracts. We are making sure that those who are awarded contracts are doing just that. They are awarding and utilizing vendors, as they said, when they were awarded the contracts. As a reminder to those that are performing on state contracts, we are the final authority for any requests of change. So if you are a subcontractor performing on a contract and you're experiencing any issues, or if the prime vendor threatens to remove you, just know that we are your advocate. We are your big brother, big sister, and they have to come through us before they can remove a vendor from a contract. And we make it somewhat difficult for them, but we do help both parties along the way. We continue to attend pre-proposal conferences. So those are the conferences that are held when an RFP or prior to the RFP release, just to state our roles in the contract. We will be hosting our bi-monthly pay audit webinar. That is on September 20th at 1 p.m. The pay audit webinar is for those who are participating or looking to participate on state contracts. It goes over the reporting structure. So the pay audit system is where vendors, both prime and sub, report their payments on contracts. And then the outreach team is amazing and they're doing amazing things. That's just 2 of them, but they have been able to host 18 in-person and virtual events. And in total, so far, we have attended 847 events. We have attended 52 in-person and virtual partner events, so our partner organizations. And then we have hosted or presented on 17 certification events. The outreach team was invited to the Reverse Trade Show. That was August 31st. That was an awesome turnout. The Office of Minority Women and Business Development and Indianapolis Airport Authority teamed together to have the Reverse Trade Show. We'll be traveling to Muncie for the Ball State University Vendor Fair on September 29th. And then the biggest event for the Division of Supplier Diversity team is October 13th. We will be right here on campus in the Government Center. The Conference Center will take over the entire Conference Center. And again, that's giving tools to vendors that you don't normally have access to. Last year, we brought out our headshots, so we'll be doing those again this year. We're having a workshop rewind where we're bringing back the capability statement workshop. We're also going to have a table set up for not just certification, but we'll have someone at the table from the team to help vendors build out virtual business cards. So business owners that come to the event that may not be prepared, may not have a card, we're showing them how to prepare for that on their phone. They can have it right on their phone and they can show it to the individuals that they're meeting. So again, small but mighty, we're trying to make a difference.
Great work.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for your time.
Yeah, one thing. But one of the things that they did too, they worked with the NBA All-Star Committee in sending out that data to gather for them of vendors with possible opportunity. You want to speak on that?
Yeah, sure. So Chairman reached out to us and he said, can you find some vendors in certain areas? And the three of us, so myself, Graham Melendez and Peter Soban, we got together and we looked for vendors in that area. We sent out surveys to them. Again, just trying to make a difference and making sure that everyone knows about the opportunities that are out there. This is a huge thing for our vendor community. So if they can participate and, if they can count towards those goals for the NBA All-Stars, we think that would be great. And I think we had a really good turnout from the vendors that we searched for and found.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity. You'll be hearing more about it coming up, but make sure you go to the link for the Pacers Entertainment and look up the All-Star and look at those opportunities. All right, I'm sorry, Senator Taylor.
Yes, thank you. Just one question about the contracts compliance piece. How are you, is the manager, since you don't have a director in place, is the manager actually doing the contract compliance, and how are you monitoring this right now?
That's a great question. So, yep, it is the manager, but it is also myself.
Okay.
So I am assisting him with any questions that he may have. Currently, what we're doing is we audit the top 100 contracts.
Okay.
With us being short-staffed somewhat, we've put a pause on that. But how we monitor is when we get notified that there is an issue.
Okay.
So if there's an issue on a state contract or if there's an issue on an NDOT contract. So we also have the responsibility for reviewing NDOT contracts that have minority, women, and veteran-owned spend. So once we are notified of an issue, once it is rectified, then we still monitor the participation on those contracts.
If I remember correctly, you used to give us the information on the number of waivers that were granted.
That information's in your packet.
Is it in there? What, I didn't see it in your
So
presentation.
you have two separate packets. There are the one that says presentation and then one that says packet. The one that says packet, the thicker one,
Okay,
that goes over the numbers for each of the
Okay.
three functions.
all right, I thought it was, and that would be in here.
And the piece about the waiver, just so that you know, that's for the NDOT good faith effort reviews. That's not state contract.
Oh, it's not state contracts. We don't do waiver.
No,
Okay,
no, sir.
okay.
So and what we are looking at is we're looking to see if the vendor on that NDOT project, so it has a state dollar on it, right? So we're making sure that they made a good faith effort to solicit minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses.
Got it.
And that's what you see where it says waiver granted or not granted. So if we make the determination that they did
But
make a
not-
good faith effort,
They're not on state contracts, they're in the NDOT.
it's the NDOT project. Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we don't grant waivers on our state product.
Not that I'm aware of, but there is the Deputy Commissioner for Procurement. She's here to speak to that if you have a specific question.
I just didn't know. I remember seeing them and I forgot it was on the, you're right, it was on the NDOT report, so
Mhm,
just wanted to, okay.
that's it.
Thank you again for all your hard work, and you and your team. I've done a Herculean job with all this work,
Yeah.
especially processing that many certifications.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your support.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Erin Kellum, the Deputy Commissioner for Procurement. I'm here to say I have no information to give you, and I apologize for that. The person that I relied on to run the data for me is not available to me anymore, and I overestimated my ability to do it myself. So I have called in the troops to help. They just couldn't get it turned around as quick as I needed it. So once I get it done, I will provide it to Keisha so that she can get the numbers out to you. I don't have any reason to believe that there would be a big jump either down or up. But again, I apologize.
That's okay. Did you send it to Taylor? Did you want to answer that same question?
Yeah, do we have a waiver program in procurement for the state?
No, the way it works for our competitive solicitations is there are points assigned
Right.
for meeting the commitments or exceeding the commitments. If you do nothing in your response, then you get no points and we take away a point.
Okay,
So that's how we do that. We do ask if you have no participation, why? because we're trying to understand why. And if we get anything that's meaningful besides, we just couldn't find anybody, then we'll pass it on to Keisha. But for the most part, it's not really any good answers yet.
So that's interesting. So do you give more points on your RFPs or your scoring for people who say, you know, we're going to go 20% MBE instead of the goal?
Yes.
Okay.
They get a bonus point of 1, which may not seem like a lot,
No,
but there's
no.
only 100 points available. And our RFPs particularly are very competitive, and it can come down to less than a point difference.
Right.
And we publish those award letters to show that, because we want to show the vendor community the power. At least I think it's helpful to show the power of those points, because they can make a difference, and they often do.
Yeah, that was something I had suggested a long time ago, that we give extra points to people who say they're going to exceed the goal. So on the contract compliance piece of it, once the contract has been let and they're going through the services provided, that's when contract compliance gets involved and make sure that they've met their goals that you put on. Okay.
Right. Right. So that's why I said, that's why we make it difficult for them, because as you can see, they're awarded points.
Right.
So we don't want to just make it easy where they come and say, oh, I don't want to work
I
with
see what
them.
you're saying
Yeah.
now.
No, that's a
Okay,
good.
I didn't know
that's
I
good.
didn't know you gave extra points. Thank you for doing that.
Sure.
Thank you.
Any
Anything
other
else?
questions? Thank you so much. Look, it always takes extra, don't it, to help?
All right, so we will have public comments. Each individual will have 4 minutes. Graham will give you your 1-minute warning when you're close to your 4 minutes. The first individual is Aaron with Caramita.
Oh.
You didn't know that's what it was?
No.
You just signed in documents?
Sir, I'm still new with Caramita. Those of you that have not met me yet, hello, good afternoon. I'm Erin Ridout, and I am Caramita's client relations representative. Dr. Vicky Caramita brought me in to actually nurture the XPE of Caramita. We are 35 years strong this year. We're woman found, woman ran, and a very successful full service environmental engineering consulting firm, and we're Hoosier proud. We do service globally, but we are headquartered here in Indianapolis. I've had the direct privilege of working with a few of these universities. Specifically, Roger has involved me in a few. I'm in his diversity chat every opportunity I have. I do a lot of traveling and a lot of events for Caramita, for networking and client outreach and nurturing. But when I'm in my office and I can step away, I want to be a participant because I see success from those diversity chats bring a lot of network and a lot of camaraderie and a lot of success. Our Bickle and Ivy Tech's XBE outreach, we participated with that, was it a month and a half ago? That was a fantastic experience as well. And I know my Caramita has fantastic relationships with several of these universities. So I just came to these events just so I can continue to see them support and nurture their XBE goals, and we're available to them for any of their environmental engineering consulting needs. I think with my presentation, I think I'm here for that. But thanks all of you for what you do to continue to make that happen. It means a lot to us. I talk to a lot of up and coming companies and company owners. And I'm always pushing them to get certified and helping them as well. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Aaron. The next individual is Michael Barnett with Market Square Popcorn. I'll give a shameless plug. If you've never had it, make the trip to Castleton Square. Yes, I just told myself a couple of weeks ago, I need to go. So
All the way to the north side?
oh, go. It's worth it. It's worth it. Trust me. Thank you.
Yes, I'm here with my business partner, Jonathan Warren. He's probably gonna ask us as well. We came up, when we met Greg at the Pacer event that we had, and we had a great time with one, and it went very well for us. A lot of people know our popcorn, we're probably more famously for popcorn, but we do other things, Jonathan.
Yeah, so me and Michael, we also own Hargrove McKinsey LLC, which is a private equity company, and we have a couple of different brands underneath our company, and we're just trying to figure out how we can fit in with working with the government and supplier and equity inclusion. So we're just excited to be a part of this and just understand how we can help in any way possible. So it's a learning experience for us. And everyone that likes popcorn, come to the north side and come.
You think I'm samples?
Next time we will bring some. Definitely.
What is?
Oh, I bet.
Excuse me, sir, will you repeat the name of your company again?
It's Market Square Popcorn.
Market Square Popcorn, where's that?
So we're located in Catholic Square Mall. We're between Builder and Claire's, right in front of Mason.
Oh, you've got fire.
Yes.
What's wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew
I have a
about that. So
question.
you're at Catholic Square Mall?
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you use a tiny tender popcorn or mushroom kernel popcorn?
So yeah, she knows. We use,
I'm from northern Indiana, Amish country. We have lots of popcorn up there.
So me and Mike, we're pretty popcorn snobs. So his background, he went to Ball State. He's a business guy, and I'm a microbiologist. I went to Bowling Green State University. But to your question, we use monster mushroom pop, and we use Indiana grown corn. We're a small artisan shop, and we just got introduced into the Indiana Artisan Group. So we are the only popcorn company in the state of Indiana that's an Indiana artisan as well.
That's cool.
Do you guys sell online?
We do. So
You need to reach out to, you need to reach out. Go ahead.
Are you state certified?
we're in the
City certified.
progress right now. So we are in the progress of getting certified. So I think it's the number one priority.
You ought to reach out to Visit Indy. I know they got the convention coming for sweets and something and taste. I never go, but you should reach out to Visit Indy.
And I'm with IEDC, so I'll get your card because we're always doing custom gifts and just custom things for different things. So, yeah.
We just had the popcorn festival in Valparaiso, so we'll make sure you're there next year.
So we can make an appointment. So a part of our office is business development as a part of our outreach team. And so let's have a conversation between myself, Graham Melendez, who is our Director of Business Development and Outreach, as well as our Certification Director, Peter Soba. And let's talk about, is it a good fit? Because we want to make sure that everyone wants to get certified, but is it going to be a good fit for your company? I think that's what your question is, and how you can, access those opportunities. So I'll get your card at the end.
And after the meeting, I'll give you his name if there's in Indy, the person I want you to reach out to. Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. And next up, we have Danita. Is it Danita Mudd with Lapsley?
Hello, my company Lapsley, we do window treatments, and traditionally we're a subcontractor to the GCs. We've been certified since 2004, just recertified like within the last couple months. And thank you for having the, a program whereby if you miss your recertification date, you get 3 months in order to go back in without a whole new application. So thank you, appreciate that. I would just like to say, having been certified as long as we have been, I understand that certification is a marketing tool. You're not guaranteed any work, but at the same time, when you go through all the efforts to go through certification, and not only with the state, but then like, for instance, the Board of Public Works has their certification. You do all the work to review the construction documents, that type of thing, and then come up unsuccessful. That's basically been deflating. And I would like to say, I sat here and I made a note of the fact that of all these years, we've had 0 contracts with IU, Indiana State, University of Southern Indiana, and Vincennes. And also we've had 1 contract with Ball State, 2 subcontracts at Purdue, and 2 at Ivy Tech. And we bid a ton of projects. And just recently, we went through all the steps to participate on the Indiana Archives and Records Administration Building Project. It was 2 contractors in my scope that bid, and we were not the low number. And I think we were like maybe 14% difference, but there was no conversation regarding, there's no possibility of negotiation or relooking at that number. And from what I was told by the contractor is that the Board of Public Works was okay with what they presented. So the numbers and the subcontractor stayed as it was. There was, no more discussion regarding that. And it's just, I would like to know what that actual compliance process is. Is it just that the GCs go in with a list and that's where the decision is made, or is anybody drilling down to look at who's on these projects, who's on these large construction contracts, not only at the top, the tier 1, but these lower tier contractors go, the different divisions where subcontractors like myself may get picked up. But if they're stopping at tier 1 and meet the 8% or meet whatever percent and it goes no further, then it really doesn't do this certification any benefit. We don't see the benefit, and we're just like, just treading water, just, spending time doing that. But that's kind of like, I just wanted to make sure that I came to the meeting today just to share that.
Thank you. We do need to hear that. Everybody needs to hear that. I mean, you're important. The meetings, the only reason I'm on the commission is because I want to support supplier diversity. And we need to hear those things, not all just the good things, but the troublesome things. And that's why we exist. I would ask you to, one, work with Keisha and her team, to talk to her. And then also the universities are here because they're saying they're missing certain things in a certain area. Here's an opportunity for them to talk to you and then look at your company as well.
Right.
Representative Bartlett.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. The question was asked earlier on, I think by Senator Taylor, why do you think people are not getting recertified? Someone asked that question. And sounds like you answered it, at least part of it anyway, because when you're in business, especially if you're small business, every second is valuable.
Exactly.
And you take the time to invest into getting certified and you do that, and then the dollars from that equal zero, then folk begin to stop taking that time.
Right.
So that is something that we really needed to hear, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you. And the thing is, we can, I know my company can get the smaller contracts, but if we're going to grow, we got to get those big jobs too, where they're multi-$100,000 jobs. And likely if the drill down was done, the discovery would be that it's a few companies that's doing all the work in probably each and every division.
Well, actually, the drill down's been done. We do that in the study that we do. And in the drill down, it said that specifically that only a few companies are getting the opportunity. So that's already known. That's why we keep talking to us, the universities, that we keep having these discussions is how do we expand the use of other suppliers versus the same businesses. It's the same small group of business that tend to get utilized.
Right.
So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So then they don't believe it's just us saying it. They can see that it's actually people that are impacted from lack of opportunities.
Yeah.
Who was in?
Yes. Next up, Victoria Davis with Faith Healthcare Training Center. Okay.
Hi, everybody. That is a surprise. Sorry. I am Victoria Davis, the program director and the owner of Faith Healthcare Training Center. What we do is basically provide a short-term certification for individuals who's looking to get into the healthcare field so that they can gain employment in a short-term fashion, as well as grow into the healthcare field.
Our certification is certified nursing assistant, and then we also provide CPR training for those individuals who also want to learn a lifelong skill to save someone's life. So we do have our certification MBE. So what we're looking to is partner with community organizations to get those individuals who want to be able to get that certification and gain employment, which will be sustaining for them. We are already partnered with the Excel Center here in Indianapolis, as well as Richmond, Indiana, and Bloomington. We not only do training for those centers, but also Indy Med High School and any long-term care facility that do want their staff and someone that's in housekeeping or dietary want to convert over to healthcare side. We will go into those organizations and do the training for them as well. Hopefully that's good enough for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Jonathan Warren with Hartgrove McKinsey LLC. All right, and Joanna Williams.
Okay.
Thank you. So again, we have, we're getting 22 minutes back.
Thank you.
Meeting's adjourned. Oh, I'm sorry, please.
Mr. Chair. We come back every quarter and we hear why they did not, the universities did not make their goals. And the state, we say give them money, but what the state gives is tax revenue. MBEs, WBEs, VBEs, all are taxpayers. So part of their dollars are what you receive as a university to build and to do whatever you do with those dollars. So I will be seeking bipartisan support in both the House and the Senate to get legislation. So if you do not meet your goals, that we take a percentage of your dollars. Legislation has a way of changing as it works through the channel. But I do believe that I can get bipartisan support as well as in both houses, the House and the Senate, to take a hard look at this, because when Chairman Greg first came on, Chairman Wilson first came on, we asked for a retreat so we could really take a long, hard look at what we should be doing as a commission. And I think these commissioners are sincere. I think that they understand. And I'm tired of hearing excuses of why we did not make it. So I hear different ones say they want to help. Different agencies say they want to help the universities get to where they need to get to. Well, we as legislators want to help too. We want to cut your money back until you get it right. So this next legislative session, I will be seeking bipartisan support to support that bill that says if you miss your goals here on the Governor's Commission, then we're gonna miss your dollar amount from Ways and Means. So it's not a threat. I just want everyone to be aware and not be backdoored by it, because the legislation will be coming.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I have two things I'd like to finish with. One, I agree, we don't have teeth in a program people won't reach. We can't hold people accountable. We've reached the point where we need to apply teeth to a program. Second, I was up in Elk Park and South Bend area, and I got a lot of requests to see if we could have a tour up there in our next year commissioners meeting. So if that could be put on the agenda if possible. That's all I have.
Thank you. I think we've already got everything scheduled for this year. We've already got that. So that's something that we can look at next year.
Next year, yeah.
Yeah. Huh?
I thought that was what he said.
So he said,
Yeah. Oh, he said next
Yeah,
year.
no.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for coming out. Remember, talk to the universities. They're here. Meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.